Before my session with Denise, I was experiencing immense grief. I was battling depression and confusion of how I was going to manage dealing with the grief of the loss of my son. There was a recognition of the energy of my son in the room, and it was familiar to me. He had very important things to tell me, so it felt crucial or critical. I knew it was my son coming through because Denise started to feel very cold. She said that she was shivering, like cold down to the bone. And she said, you know, typically spirits will come through and give you a clue that it's them. And when my son was on his deathbed, he had an ice blanket on top of him for a whole day. And that was something that I felt horrible about. I was very worried that he was suffering. So the validation of the cold, that was important for me because that really hit me deeply. And then after that, it was just kind of no question, like, of course it's him. Denise would tell me some things that he was trying to communicate to me. He would say things that I would say to him when he was a child. Drink more water. You know, and so I laughed when I heard that. It was hilarious. In that session, I learned about what I'm supposed to be doing here on the planet. And I learned what Trey and I were doing here together and what we're doing here collectively. We all know our purpose here. We just have to be reminded. And that's what it gave me. It really did. I was given advice from my son on how to maintain equilibrium while moving through the grief. And I took that advice and it worked. My grief was erased. Now, as a mother, the sadness will never completely go away, but that level of grief that I was carrying, it was heavy and it was dark and it was debilitating, and now it's gone. And that went away immediately. That dissolved immediately. I have direct access to Trey at any time now. It wasn't until the grief was erased that I was able to fully access him. I can ask him questions and receive the answers pretty quickly because we are interacting through the energy of joy. It's not sadness or guilt or pain, it's joy. If someone were contemplating or trying to decide if they wanted to do this and they were a little bit frightened or worried what they might discover, I would say, don't be afraid. There's no judgment in the reality that we don't understand. It's just love. And to have direct access to that is completely life-changing.